What's up, everybody? Here we are at Wrigley Field. It's the Hooters Lunch Hour with Guff, Ryan McGuffey, here from the press box of Wrigley Field between the Cubs and the White Sox. It's the Crosstown Classic. I've been looking for spots, folks, with Wi-Fi and a billion people in one spot. Here I am from Wrigley Field. It's the Crosstown Classic, the first installment of the 2025 Crosstown Classic here between the Cubs and the White Sox. Cade Horton, Shane Smith. It should be a great pitching matchup. It's all brought to you by our fine partners at Hooters. Go to originalhooters.com to find one of the 11 Chicago area locations nearest you. The chat is already full. I see that. We got plenty to talk about. The wind is blowing out. It's 85 degrees. It feels like June 30th. It'll be all different tomorrow and Sunday, but at least for a day, baseball at Wrigley Field on a clear, beautiful day, bright and sunny, with the flags pointing straight out. And the total in this game, I believe, is 11.5, with two pitchers making their first starts in this series, and Cade Horton making his first career start at Wrigley Field. So a lot going on in this environment. The extra juice and energy for both Shane Smith and Cade Horton should be electric. The crowd should be electric, regardless of where each team is in the standings. This series always stands out as one of the fun ones of the year. I was talking to some of both the Cubs and the White Sox vets, guys who have played in the series, guys who are making their first appearance in this series, and all of them talked about the timing of it, meaning it's good to get a series like this at about the 40-45 game mark, because it gives you that extra boost into the next quarter of the season, as we're 25% through the Major League Baseball season, which is actually already crazy to say. What's going on, Eric? I believe the Cubs will take 2 out of 3, and the Sox will win a game in the series. Going to be a great weekend in baseball. Cubs, Sox, let's go Cubbies. Appreciate the comment, Eric. It's for the Caleb Williams story. If this was like a year ago or maybe a year and a half ago, I can understand this whole situation with him not wanting to go to the Bears. I think the Caleb story is completely ridiculous. The timing of it it's not insane. The guys had the story. This is a bigger story if we're 12 months ago. A couple of things have happened. The Bears took the guy number one, regardless of whether or not they tried to orchestrate something differently with the family, etc. This is not NIL. This is not college. You can't just pick and choose and pack up your suitcase and go from team to team. Pro sports are different. The Bears took him 1-1. Yes, it was a messy coaching situation in rookie year, in year one, but they've cleaned that all out. They went after the biggest, baddest name available. Everybody wanted him who had a coaching vacancy. They got him. We know about the story of Caleb finding out, pulling over on the side of the road and screaming loudly into the air as he was excited about the hiring of Ben Johnson. So I think the timing of this is terrible. I don't think it's a story at all. Caleb will get asked about it next week at OTAs, but I think he'll handle it with class. He handled the entire season with class last year, where they lost 10 games in a row. They had coaching malpractice at times, and he never threw anybody under the bus. And I think there's a lot of people throwing him under the bus after this story came out yesterday, saying this is why he doesn't deserve to be. You guys, this is 13 months ago. This story is 13, 14, 15 months old. And I think the timing of it is so terrible. And it doesn't make any sense to me unless you're trying to sell a book, which is what's happening in this case. The book comes out in September, and the juiciest nugget from the book is that Caleb Williams did not want to be in Chicago. And look, that's not the case anymore. By the way, the reason I was a couple minutes late, this will be a fun one for everybody. There's no video of it, but my calf will tell you otherwise. I was smoked by a line drive in batting practice by Edgar Carroll. Had my back turned, which is already a no-no. But I was talking to Ethan Katz behind, next to the White Sox dugout. Edgar Carroll got way out in front of one, and you hear heads up. And the sound it took, I did not fall. I took it, kind of walked it off a little bit. I do have some ice. The clubs both supply ice, so I will be icing up after this. I had to rush upstairs to do the lunch hour here with you guys, and my calf is screaming. I can tell you that. It is absolutely screaming. In 25 years, first time that's happened. And I'll tell you one thing. It is no joke. Thankfully, it hit me in the calf, the meaty part of the calf. Calf's doing great. I appreciate you asking. It's not going to look so great. Yeah. No, I do. Both teams supplied ice. So if it would have hit somewhere else, I'm not sure that wouldn't have been as fun. But I will say, oh yeah. Oh no, that would have. Oh yeah. Or the ankle probably too. So just a lot of tightness right now, but we'll be good. Thank you. See, proof. I'm not lying. Everyone's inquiring. For those who were down there, it was loud. Hopefully that doesn't. Why would it haunt Caleb? He's going to move on from this quicker than the fans will. I can promise you that, Thomas. Caleb can care less about this story. He's probably not happy about the timing. I will say this. It's May 16th. Better this happens now than 3 games into the season. They're dealing with this unnecessary distraction because that's what it is. It's completely unnecessary. The real Phil Simms won't surprise me should the Cubs sweep the Sox. You guys know I have a bet on here with my guy, Chef Paul. Sox get a game, I get a pizza. Cubs get a sweep, I'm buying him one. I have a feeling that pizza's coming back to me. So I feel really good about the Sox getting one this weekend. Thomas, low scoring. You think the under, a pitching duel in a very windy and warm Wrigley Field. Hey, Thomas, if I'm betting that, by the way, if you think that that's the case, that probably pays you about 9 or 10 to 1, my friend. You should try to go in. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that for you while we're here in the show, because you can actually pick the correct score. And Cubs 1-2. Let's see here. If you just looked, Chicago Cubs even to win by 1 is plus 230. So I think you should come in here and make a play. The White Sox, their total runs today sits at 4.5. You guys think you know where I stand on that one? Breck, my man. Happy Friday, buddy. How about the NFL possibly allowing players to compete in the Olympics? Some janitor who learned football on YouTube is going to get smoked by Saquon. I'm all for it. A Latvian janitor going head-to-head with Saquon. Here's my take on it, Breck. If other pro sports allow their athletes to play in the Olympics, why wouldn't the NFL, now that flag football is going to be part of the Olympics? I'd be a little concerned if I had a guy under contract about the possibility. There might have to be some kind of inclusion in contract language with guys who want to compete in the Olympics, but I think they should be given first right. I like the Olympics are better. Like hockey's better. The Olympic hockey's better when NHL players are playing. When NBA players are playing in the Olympics, it's better. And I hope that continues. Becky and Eric, I like that they talk to each other here in the chat. Wind is blowing out. I can promise you that. I was standing on the field not long ago, and I'm telling you, you want the Royals to win too. Becky's so worried about the Cardinals. I'm worried about Becky. Becky, I told you guys all sleep on it yesterday that you'd be okay. Don't worry about the Cardinals. Worry about your rearview mirror should be empty right now. You're in first place. There's nobody. Everybody that's behind you is well down the road. Don't worry about it. Even if they're a game back, worry about today. Good afternoon, Guff and Cap. Overrated caps are gone. The Rat Palace will be off the chain as the champs send the Leafs home. Leafs played like hot garbage 2 days ago. I appreciate Phil always checking in with the NHL playoff knowledge that he has because it's so good. I watched the Winnipeg-Dallas game late last night after I watched the Nuggets force Game 7. I told you, sorry, Becky. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Yesterday was a perfect scenario. Bet of the day cashes. Chet Holmgren's over rebounds cashes, which we'll get to that in a minute. And the Nuggets force a Game 7. Now let's see if they can play like that one more time on the road. The Thunder will win on Sunday p.m. on their own court. We'll see, Becky. We'll see. I can tell you right now, all the pressure's on Oklahoma City. The best player on the court is Nikola Jokic, period. With no apologies to SGA, by the way. The best player on the court is one of the best players of all time. Great weather today, Pablo. Going to be a great Crosstown Classic. Guff, who's your pick to click from the White Sox? I might have to go with Edgar Caro since he lined one off of my calf. I think that sounds like – I will say this. Caro came over pretty quickly and was like, dude, hugged it out. And I was like, what are you going to do? I mean, it is what it is. But I think I'm going to have to go Edgar Caro. If I'm going to have to pick the click from the White Sox, I think just by the way my calf feels right now, I'm going Edgar Caro. Might have to get a little brown drink later to let this pain go away. Lip wants the Sox to win. Becky's on the Cubs. I love the back and forth. This is a better series when the rivalry exists. By the way, I tweeted this out earlier. This kind of reminded me some of the old days. Bernie's, the legendary bar across the street, put up this sign: "Not even the Pope can save the Sox." So I think it's fun that we're getting the back and forth from the bars, even though you have a team that's in first place and the team that's in last place. It's for a day, for a weekend. It doesn't matter. And then we'll say the same thing in July. It won't matter, but it's fun. When Wrigley's like this and the weather's like this, there's no better place to be on a Friday afternoon. What a pro. This man brings us live from the game. Thank you, Guff. Have a great time. You're not going to get the true value of what tomorrow. This thing's going to look way worse. Maybe I'll take a picture tomorrow so we can bring it to the show on Monday. Jimmy, the BP Cup, no longer a thing. I think there is some variation, but I don't think the BP Cup exists. I think that partnership no longer exists. Jimmy, 11.5. I'm telling you, I feel you're going to sweat that out if you're playing the over. Maybe I'm wrong. I think if you're going to see anything in early innings, which pitcher is going to have, I said this earlier on the radio, I was on the score. They asked me about which pitcher you think is going to be better suited. Well, both are making their first career start in this series. Cade Horton's first career start at Wrigley Field and this series. That's a combo, but his stuff is electric. I think it's going to be whoever has got the lower pulse rate, man. Like whoever can just zone in and tune out and shut down. And I think that sounds elementary, but it's not. It's not. Can you limit traffic in the first and second inning? The White Sox are actually one of the best scoring first inning teams in baseball. And if you can limit that, then I think you get in a situation where both pitchers can settle in and settle down. The key is, though, a routine fly ball to left field today is not routine. It's routine at Wrigley Field on a warm day. It's just not routine here. If that thing gets up in the jet stream, we've seen it many, many times. A fly ball out turns into a fly ball homer. Happy Friday, Kyle. Glad Facebook is back up and running for live. I didn't realize that Facebook was not live yesterday. Sorry about that. I appreciate you telling me. Looking forward to the Crosstown Classic. Cade Horton's first start at Wrigley should be fun. Go Cubs. Clyde, do you see my comments? Did I see the comments Barry Bonds made about Pete Rose being reinstated because he died? Talk about a bitter steroid user. Yeah. I was at that press conference 20 years ago when Barry Bonds sat in front of all of us and said, names, names, names. So it doesn't surprise me much that I will say this about the Pete Rose thing. It's a very passionate topic to a lot of people, both people who've covered the game for a long time and people who played the game for a long time, because there is in every clubhouse to this day, right there, the rule that states you can't bet on baseball. Okay. And Pete did have a lot of opportunity to kind of change his ways, show forgiveness while he was alive. It didn't happen. The decision to reinstate him is going to be a touchy one, I think, from now until whether or not he gets in the Hall of Fame. I think if you're just judging whether he deserves to be on the Hall of Fame based off of baseball, it's not even an argument 100%. It's about all of the things off the field and being banned for what he did that got him to this point. Might be going to the Cats game tonight. Nice lip. That's awesome. When do they play at White Sox Park? It's July. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I want to say it's July 25th. But I know it's July. How about that? We'll go with July. I'm pretty sure it's July, like late July after the All-Star game. Should be a lot of fun this weekend. I just want to see good baseball. Swayze, I think with the pitching staff of the White Sox, quite frankly, the offense of the Cubs, it's kind of, who gives in first. I think you will see good baseball. We've seen good baseball from the White Sox in May. They're 7-7 this month. The Cubs offensively, as we know, have struggled, but struggled to their standards is like middle of the pack. The White Sox would love to struggle offensively like the Cubs. Sean. I got zapped off there, guys. I got zapped off for a second. Sorry about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. What's Breck's calling out? Clyde, whoever wins Game 7 of Denver, Oklahoma will be the MVP. No, Clyde, not how it works. The MVP votes have already been tabulated and turned in. It's a regular season award. I think I had this argument in my house last night. It should be Jokic. It won't be because people are sick of giving the best player the MVP, which I think is asinine. Jacob Amaya finally DFA. What do you think of the Vinny Capra and Miguel Castro pickups? Fine, Joe. Saw them both in the clubhouse. I don't It's okay, fine. Like I'm more dialed into what you're seeing from Chase Mydroth and Edgar Caro, and the pitching staff had a great conversation with Ethan Katz when I got smoked in the leg. So that was good, but plenty more to come on that. I do not ignore you, Clyde. We've already brought your name up a few times. Does he think the Cubs can? Yes, I think he does, but I think will is the actual question. I bet you he thinks it's a 2 out of 3. What is more likely to happen? Shane Smith pitches well or struggles? Well, based off of what he's done so far, Jay pitches well. His ERA is low 2s. He's given up 1 earned run in 11 innings against the National League. If I'm betting right now, he's by far their all-star. I would say he would be their guy. You know what I might do on the way home today? Probably going to have to ice this down with a Big Daddy mug with what's been going on here with my leg. Go to Hooters, originalhooters.com to find one of the 11 Chicagoland area locations nearest you. The Big Daddy mugs that are full of summer shandy. On a day like today, it'd be summer shandy, Blue Moon, Dos Equis. May have to get some tender tacos to go. Order.hooters.com if you want to get it to go. Get the cinnamon pretzel bites so you finish off your meal like the McGuffies do every single time we go to Hooters. And, of course, today would be a perfect day to get into the weekend with the drink of the month, the Paloma, $8 all month, which is another 15 days or so. The Paloma, the $8 Paloma, and the normal regular cocktails, as we know, all day, every day, $6. Where can you get a deal better than that with our partners at Hooters? Swayze, now you're just showing off. We know you're a gamer, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty proud of the way I handled it. I could have been a lot worse. Could have gone down, could have made a scene. Most of the people didn't even know, and that's what happened. So there we go. Gamer, Swayze. And then I came up here with Katie. Katie's here. Came up here. And if you've ever been to the press box at Wrigley, which I'm guessing most of you have not, it's a trek. You got to come out. You're in the 400 level, go upstairs, ramps, etc. Calf's getting a little stretched out. I'll tell you that right there. Bond's already a part of the Hall of Fame. It is impossible to separate what Bonds did from the story of baseball, similar to Pete Rose. Glad that Breck brought that up because as somebody who's been at a great museum, like I've been many times with the great Breck Bear, we've been to that museum together, and there is acknowledgement of Barry Bonds being the all-time home run leading champion. Doesn't mean he should be inducted or will get inducted. Clyde understood, but SGA should get MVP due to the record from OKC achieved. A guy averages a triple-double for the year, and clearly you remove him, and the Nuggets are nothing. I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that Jokic is the best player on the floor. I don't think it's much of an argument. I understand how the MVP debate works. But let's see. Let's see. The MVP step up in Game 7 and actually lead the team to victory. Then maybe we have a different debate. But this will be the time to put up or shut up because I can tell you what. The one thing I don't like about Oklahoma City, that corporate crowd that wears that same T-shirt and they all kind of sit the whole game, I don't understand what that is. I want raucous. I want it to go nuts, and it's not. Blackhawks introduced in the Hall of Fame like the Cubs have. Fans get to voice who they want in. Pretty cool to celebrate their centennial. Very cool. It's to acknowledge the players. I believe they're the 9 players who have their number retired, and the players of the 20th and 21st century. So you'd assume players like Jonathan Cain, Patrick Taves. I'd like to see Eddie Olczyk, Corey Crawford, Pat Foley also be in there. You know, Clyde, I never do Portage area Hooters. I'm looking forward. We should get to go there. Clyde, SGA is not the best player in the NBA. That's from Breck Bear, who's passionate about the topic and who he believes. And I also am right there with him. I'm pretty wholeheartedly telling you that Nikola Jokic is one of the best 10 greatest players in the history of the game. I will go that far. He's one of the 10 greatest players in the history of the game. Find me a guy who can run the floor at his size, his ability. People say he's out of shape. You're out of your damn mind. The guy is unguardable. Some of the shots he makes, he can shoot from the outside, from the inside. What he can do with the basketball from a passing standpoint, I don't know if there's been a better passing big man than Nikola Jokic. So, yeah. What's the update on the shooting last night at Murphy's Bleachers? Not a news guy, but, Sean, I am aware of this situation. It was sounds like 2 teenage groups fighting, and a passerby got shot in the arm. So, not good. It's not good, and it's always the time of year in this city where people come out of the woodwork as we get warmer weather, and it gets a little nutty. Press box looks like a prison cell, so I'm behind. That's actually a good call. But I'm basically in the traffic area right behind me up here, up those steps right there. That leads you to the press box. Beautiful view, but it's loud. It's trying to get away, give you guys some quality sound, and that's why that I'm over here. OKC needs to dress the fans or would look like a Boomer Sooner game. That's very true. I think the reason OKC, Becky's not going to like what I'm about to say, but maybe I think the reason that they go to those games is because they get the free shirt, gives them new apparel, wear it to work. Monty, what's going on? Any love for the WNBA Fever Sky open tomorrow night? You can see my legs already. Certainly love. I mean, I'll see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the line on that game. My guess would be that the Fever are, because of Caitlin Clark, always going to be the favorite in that game. That game right now is looking at the WNBA. The WNBA, Chicago. Yeah, the Indiana Fever, though, hosting that game tomorrow afternoon. 7.5-point favorites. Interesting. New coaching staff for the Sky. Angel Reese. Vandersloot's back as a point guard. Look at me spitting game, Monty, for you for the WNBA opener tomorrow between, how about Chicago and Indiana? That's just going to be a great rivalry, just with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and their love for each other. It's going to be fun. Clearly, Angel Reese still has feelings because she wouldn't answer the question yesterday or a couple of days ago during media day when asked about the comment she made last year regarding Caitlin Clark and why people watch women's basketball, which is fair, but I don't know if I love the next question handling, but to each their own. Cubs did sign Kenta Maeda on a minor league deal. I like this signing for the Cubs. It's low risk, all reward. Similar to some of their guys in their bullpen right now. I had a really good 10-minute conversation with Drew Pomeranz in the Cubs clubhouse today. What a dude! What a story! Got his first save in 5 years the other day. Has not pitched in the big leagues in 3+ years, and here he is pitching meaningful bullpen innings for a first place team. Talk about a guy with perspective. Really good stuff. I hope to play that on the next Cubs recap podcast. If not there, he did agree to come on the podcast, so did tell Cap and Gordon that that's a possibility, because really good stuff. And that's kind of how I look at Kenta Maeda. He can only happen. Caro to hit a bomb at 425. Lip, I'm going to ride with you, dude. I'm going to ride with you. He's definitely my pick to click. Has to be. You should feel from the calf down to my foot right now. It's just straight. It feels like someone stretched my skin for 2.5 hours. So I'm missing 20 minutes of ice time to be with you guys. And of course, I like that. That's a gambling sign if I ever saw it. When I looked at who it was, he immediately put his hand up and was like this, and then went like this, and he came over to me. We hugged it out. And but then he saw the immediate bruise. I was like, oh, baby. So, yeah, both sides of town. And thank you both to the Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs med staffs for making sure I was okay, getting ice, etc. I'm glad, honestly, that it probably popped me, other than a child, a woman, or somebody a little bit older, and I had a little bit of more meat on the bone there than maybe the average bystander. The more I look at the Bears' gauntlet of a schedule, I'm not seeing a playoff or 8 wins at the most would be a good start in Ben's first year. Swayze finally sees the light with me. I got criticized yesterday when I said I thought the Bears would have 8 wins yesterday. Still feel that way. I think they're capable of winning as many as 11. They're probably capable of winning as few as 6. It's a tough schedule, really hard road games, but it's impossible to me to judge an entire schedule when we don't know what teams look like months on out. Injuries, everything. The schedule can flip like that. When you see a team like the Commanders go from 4-13 to the NFC title game in a year, that's what could happen. Good thing it didn't hit you in the hands. Zing! I can't believe you waited that long to use that comment, Breck Bear. My guy played college football with. You guys getting to know a lot about Breck Bear. I like to keep his name under wraps. I just call him Breck. Breck Bear, BB, whatever. It's good, though. Haven't seen him in a few days. It's only been a week since Patrick Ewing passed me in the airport while we were trying to find each other in the terminal. Let's get to our bet of the day, because yesterday, folks, we got back on track. Like I said, it was the ultimate scenario. I'm going with the Aviators, Pablo. Aviators are coming out, my friend. We cashed the Chet Holmgren over 9.5 rebounds. I told you I really loved that prop. He had 5 in the first half. We're cashing the bet of the day, and we're back to it. We have a shot here to go for 3 consecutive winning weeks. 3 consecutive winning weeks. That's what we're trying to do. That's what the Aviators are on for. We cashed. We're trying to cash one more time for a 3-2 week. We had a 3-2 week last week. Scott Burkin makes his debut in the REKAP Lunch Hour. Cashed 2 2 times this week. We're looking to cash and go 3-2 this week, 3-2 last week. We went 4-1 the week before. That would be a 10-5 clip that we're looking to achieve. It's funny. I was talking about Jalen Brunson being a dog, and he is a dog, as the Knicks try to close out the Celtics. And I think they have to close out the Celtics tonight. Jalen in these games, you would think, is the guy who's going to step up. He is. Here's what I watched when I watched the other night. The way the Boston Celtics, their game plan was one thing: shut down Jalen Brunson. And they double-teamed him a lot of times. They got him in foul trouble. They got him in foul trouble in the third quarter. He had 5 fouls. He missed most of the third quarter. This is a high prop total to me. I feel like this prop total should be living in the 27.5 range. It got pumped up because I think they're playing at home. He scored 30 points in one game this series. He had the 39-point game, 4 straight, not scoring 30 points. I just feel like it's either all or nothing with Jalen. He either coasts and has like a 39 to 42-point game, or he rides in that 22 to 26 range, and I'm going to stay there. This is not me trashing Jalen, because I think he's one of my favorite players in terms of watching in the NBA playoffs. But I'm going to take the chance that I get everything from 29 and under and minus 105 and to cash this week. I still think the Knicks get the job done, but I think there's going to have to be somebody else that steps up other than Jalen Brunson, because I don't think the Boston Celtics are going to change the way they game plan. Jalen Brunson. Appreciate you, OD. Go Cubs. Tailing you, Guff. Let's go. Hey, I had a lot of people today here at the ballpark saying, hey, dude, you've been on a little heater, and I've been quietly playing it without letting you know. Maybe people here in the media. Just saying. We're on a little bender. We got to stay on the right side of it. I'm really liking the props in the NBA. I almost went with Drew Holiday assists, but I'm going to go with the guy. I really like the way the Celtics hunkered down. Now, it was a home game. Can he do it in the Garden when everyone's going to be there? It's going to be a stars among stars type game. We should see what happens. Jalen Brunson under 29.5. Clyde, the Bears are going to be 10-7 or 9-8 this year. I certainly hope that they're 10-7. As for today's game, the one thing I really like in terms of the prop market, I think his stuff is really good. It's going to throw the White Sox bets off, because I don't think the Sox are capable of hitting them. Maybe they get traffic in the first inning, score 1-3. That's the inning that they pounce. I like the Cade Horton over 4.5 strikeouts. I think that's a nice, juicy number as the market tries to figure out who Cade Horton is as a starting pitcher. Here at home for the first time, very warm day, packed house. A lot of people that wish they were drinking those Big Daddy mugs from Hooters, I can tell you that, which might happen to me on the way home to wash down the pain of this calf that's really bothering me. What a week on the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff, brought to you by Hooters. I'm Ryan McGuffey. I appreciate all of you guys watching, coming to you from wherever I am, whenever I am, always with you every single day, Monday through Friday at 12:30, bringing you the recap bet of the day and whatever's on your mind. Swayze thinks the Cubs win 6-3. That would be an under. 120, Clyde, would be the start. Fox Sports says Commanders is a 1 and the Bears is a 6. That'd be interesting. I lost the last bet. Aaron Gordon. Well, you didn't. That means you didn't. You can't be like my brother here now, Young. You can't just choose when to play. You play every day. So if you end up losing because you dip in and dip out, don't blame. You can blame me. Last night we cashed. We go for the winning week. We're looking for 3 straight winning weeks. We judge everything on an entire sample size, not day by day, my friend. You win so many bets, you got to buy a holster for those aviators. I actually have a couple. I do have one, and I have a couple now. A couple pairs because of you, Pablo, because I've got to make sure I have them wherever I am, anytime I'm there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week. Enjoy the flipping weather. My goodness, it's as good as it gets here in Chicago and wherever you might be. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour for everybody at the Recap. I'm Ryan McGuffey. I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour brought to you by our partners at Hooters, originalhooters.com. Find one of the 11 Chicagoland locations closest to you. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weather. Take care of yourself. Have a great weekend.